This is like when she first came out and the doctor placed her on my chest.
I graduated early from high school and I ended up at college. And after my first semester on campus, I was only 16, I ended up getting pregnant. And that was devastation across the board for my family. My mom, she was not on board, right? It's like, you're ruining your life. People felt emboldened to remind me that I had done an awful thing. Like, this is not something for you to be proud of. Have you thought about putting her up for adoption? I don't have pictures of myself pregnant because that's not something we ever want to acknowledge. I still carry that shame. But I think the conversations that I was having at that moment with myself were like, now more than ever, you have to go to college if you want to be able to take care of yourself and your child.
Community college was not built for parenting students. It was built for white middle-class men. The systems that have been in place historically now no longer meet the needs of the students that we have in front of us.
There are a lot of adult learners getting their undergraduate education, and a lot of those folks have kids.
Their lives are complex. Many of them are working, they're raising families, and they're completely on their own trying to figure out life.
When I really realized what it was to be a mom, I'll never forget, I was trying to find a job, and at this point, it is like the middle of the night. It's 1 a.m., and I'm carrying her in my arms. I've got my backpack on, and I'm just going from establishment to establishment and bar to bar. And my arms were burning from just carrying her for hours. And in that moment, I was like, this is what it means to be a mom. I have got to figure out how to make money. I've got to figure out how we're going to eat. My whole life, I've either been working 2 full-time jobs, a full-time job, a part-time job, going to school part-time, going to school full-time, working full-time. But I was incentivized to go to school because I needed to take out the student loan so I could help subsidize my income to pay for the diapers, to pay for the childcare, to put food on the table. To say that I was exhausted from that balancing act would be an understatement.
You can't help but be moved when you hear a student mom talk about what it means for her to be in college and how hard our systems and our institutions are making it for her to succeed.
Student parents still remain an invisible population on college campuses. It's very easy to look out at your students and see race, to see ability, to see age, but it is not easy to see parenting status. I think that's a huge issue.
On the first day of class, I asked them, are you a caregiver to biological or chosen family? This helps me understand you as a person, and I share that I'm a single mom and that I know that life was different for me as a parenting student, and that it helps me to be able to service them better.
My daughter was born in the middle of the semester. I wanted to nurse her. I wanted to have that experience, and I would leave during the break, so I'd go home, I'd nurse her, but sometimes I'd come back late, and I was just, I decided to let my professor know what's going on. And she's like, bring your daughter with you. And I started bringing my daughter to class with me. If I would not have felt some sense of relief, like somebody actually caring, to me, it would have been like, what's the point of trying so hard? It's too difficult. Everything would have felt like it was against me.
It's such a fragile house of cards. Just one thread being pulled disrupts everything.
When I had first transferred to UC Irvine, I was living in family housing as a single father. And don't get me wrong, my life was extremely difficult and challenging, but the campus really rallied around me. Vice chancellors mentored me. One of my faculty members invited me and my daughter to her house for dinner. And so I was talking with my friends, a single mom from Compton, a single mom from Santana. And I remember one of them said, you as a single dad, you get to be a hero. But for us as single moms, people blame us for being in this situation. And that always stuck with me.
Pivoting people's perspective of who a single mom is and what that looks like is vitally important to getting single moms what they need on our campuses. I know I've shifted as a professor since being in the situation of becoming a single mom myself. For example, I have revised my own late work policies for students. Most of the time, students who need extra time, there's a really good reason for it that I don't even necessarily have to know about, that gives them the opportunity to demonstrate what they've learned in spite of maybe having some of these crises that they can't control.
The systemic barriers that single moms face are numerous. It's our job to identify what those systemic barriers are and remove as many of them as possible. Because what we see is when you remove those barriers, students thrive.
Single moms weren't a sexy topic. That's not where people are investing their time and resources. So we decided to do a study looking at the return on investment in single mothers' educational attainments. An individual single mom who earns an associate's degree spends about $14,000 getting that degree, and for every dollar she invests, she gets back $12. And over her lifetime, she earns $256,000 more than she would have had she only had a high school level education.
When a single mother goes to college, we see a legacy shift for that family. The biggest determinant of whether a child will go to school or not is their mother.
A college degree will break generational poverty cycles for up to 7 generations. I mean, you're really transforming not only that mom's life, but her children's life and her children's children's lives. Because if you take the time to educate single moms and you help uplift them out of poverty, they're no longer going to be engaged in kind of those public assistance programs. They're going to be working, they're going to be making more money, they're going to have a living wage, they're going to be able to support their families. And guess what happens? They pay more taxes. Do you want a generation of taxpayers or tax recipients? It's as simple as that.
We know that student parents perform better academically than non-parenting students. We've begun to see it with the limited data that we have here at Montgomery College that our retention rates are higher in the cohort than non-parenting students. They're excellent students.
Jabet, how you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you, girl.
My name is Jabet Lizapone, and I am the Director of Student Affairs at Montgomery College, primarily focused on serving student parents. Whether it's a sign that says diaper changing station in this bathroom, or, again, I think about the arrows kind of directing you to. My true role is to transform Montgomery College into a family-friendly higher education institution. So when you're now walking across campus and you're seeing those expectant mother or parenting parking spaces, and you're seeing the mama va lactation pods, and you're seeing the high chairs in the campus cafeteria, the college looks different. I'm really proud of that.
Go. For the moment, my gift to you is to tell you how much you mean to me.
I don't think I would be here if it were not for my daughter. She was the thing that kept me going.
It doesn't compute that it should be that hard for someone so committed, passionate, and dedicated to building a better life for herself and her kids.
I wanted her to have an amazing life.
Hope you always know your worth.
I wanted her to have all the things that other kids have. I wanted her to have the things that I didn't get to have. And I wanted her life to be filled with love and experiences and wonderful moments with her mom.
Hope you learn to trust your voice.
The only way to do that was to get my education so that I could get a good job.
Never lose your joy or your hunger. Girls, you were born to run.
Everyone has a mom.
Reach the stars.
Everyone has a mom. Like, how are we not caring about single moms?
Girls, you were wild and free. The wind is at your back, the world is at your feet. Sometimes life can feel unfair, broken hearts you can't repair. Sometimes you might be scared that no one gets you. It's not easy being brave when tears are falling down your face, but that's how you'll find your strength, so I'll let you. Girls, you were born to run, to reach the stars and chase the sun. Girls, you are wild and free. The wind is at your back, the world is at your feet. Someday friends might turn their backs, falling leaves might hide your path. You'll try hard, might come in last. but just around the corner. You'll move mountains, you'll make waves. You'll be fearless, you'll be brave. There'll be nothing you can't face. Hope you always know your worth, though I know that life can hurt. Hope you know that you can turn to each other. Hope the road ahead is clear, and I hope you know when I'm not here that you'll always have the love of your mother.